Today, we dive deep into the most impactful stories shaping our world. From the escalating tensions in Eastern Europe to significant economic shifts, today's news will highlight critical global developments. Here are today's top 10 stories you need to know. In a rapidly evolving digital landscape, cybersecurity threats are on the rise, posing significant risks to individuals and organizations alike. Recent reports indicate a staggering 30% increase in ransomware attacks and data breaches over the past year. This alarming trend has prompted urgent calls for enhanced security measures across all sectors. As businesses increasingly rely on cloud services and remote work, the vulnerabilities associated with these technologies intensify. Experts advise organizations to invest in robust cybersecurity frameworks, including employee training and advanced threat detection systems. Governments are also urged to implement stringent regulations that protect citizens from these escalating cyber threats. As cybercriminals become more sophisticated, the challenge of safeguarding digital assets will only grow. Looking ahead, proactive collaboration between private and public sectors will be essential in fortifying defenses against these evolving threats. Healthcare systems around the world continue to face significant challenges as the pandemic persists, straining resources and staff. Hospitals are overwhelmed with high patient volumes, leading to burnout among healthcare workers. Vaccination efforts are ongoing, but disparities in access remain a critical issue. Many low-income countries are struggling to secure adequate vaccine doses, while wealthier nations are rolling out booster shots to their populations. The World Health Organization emphasizes the need for equitable vaccine distribution to ensure a global recovery. As new variants of the virus emerge, public health experts warn that without comprehensive strategies, the pandemic will continue to disrupt daily life and economies. Strengthening global health systems is essential not only for managing this crisis, but also for ensuring preparedness for future health emergencies. Investing in equitable healthcare infrastructure now will foster resilience against future pandemics. The humanitarian crisis in parts of Africa is deepening, with millions facing food insecurity due to ongoing conflicts and climate challenges. In regions such as the Sahel and Horn of Africa, severe droughts have devastated agricultural production, while armed conflicts have displaced countless families, further straining resources. According to the United Nations, over 20 million people are in urgent need of assistance, highlighting the scale of this crisis. Humanitarian organizations are appealing for urgent aid to provide food, water, and medical care to affected populations, but funding shortfalls hinder these efforts. The international community is urged to respond quickly to avert a catastrophic outcome, as millions risk starvation. As aid efforts ramp up, the need for long-term solutions to address the root causes of these crises remains critical. Global leaders must prioritize sustainable development initiatives that foster resilience and stability, ensuring that vulnerable regions can recover and thrive in the future. Global supply chains are facing unprecedented disruptions, leading to significant economic impacts across various sectors. The COVID-19 pandemic, which initially halted production, has left lasting scars on global logistics. Additionally, geopolitical tensions, particularly in regions like Eastern Europe and Asia, have exacerbated these challenges. Major companies are reporting delays in production and shipping, affecting everything from electronics to consumer goods. As a result, inflation rates are on the rise, squeezing household budgets and increasing costs for businesses. Economists warn that if these disruptions persist, they could lead to a prolonged economic downturn. Governments are urged to take decisive action to enhance supply chain resilience, ensuring that essential goods remain accessible and affordable. Meanwhile, companies are reevaluating their strategies, focusing on innovation and diversification to mitigate future risks. Experts emphasize the importance of investing in technology and local manufacturing capabilities. As businesses adapt to this new reality, proactive measures will be essential to safeguard against future disruptions and foster a more stable economic environment. The United Nations has released a stark climate report detailing the urgent need for global action to combat climate change. This comprehensive document reveals that if immediate measures are not taken, catastrophic impacts on ecosystems and human populations will become unavoidable. The report highlights alarming trends, such as rising sea levels and extreme weather events, which threaten food security and human health worldwide. It emphasizes the necessity of reducing greenhouse gas emissions and transitioning to renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power. While some nations have made progress in adopting greener technologies, the report warns that global efforts remain insufficient to meet the targets outlined in the Paris Agreement. Activists are increasingly demanding accountability from governments to ensure future generations inherit a livable planet. As climate discussions continue, the pressure mounts for actionable commitments. The next International Climate Summit will be crucial in determining whether world leaders can rise to this challenge and implement the necessary changes to avert disaster. Tensions are escalating in the Middle East as oil-producing nations grapple with increasing pressure to stabilize production amid fluctuating prices. The ongoing conflict in the region, particularly in key oil-rich areas, has raised concerns about potential supply disruptions, prompting fears of a global oil crisis. In response, key players, including OPEC, are convening to discuss strategies aimed at enhancing production levels and stabilizing prices. The backdrop of this situation includes a complex web of geopolitical rivalries and alliances that complicate any straightforward solutions. Analysts predict that if instability persists, consumers worldwide may face rising fuel costs, which could adversely impact global economies. This scenario could lead to inflationary pressures and heightened living costs, straining household budgets. Additionally, the geopolitical landscape is shifting as nations reevaluate their energy dependencies and the sustainability of fossil fuels. With calls for renewable energy gaining momentum, this crisis may serve as a catalyst for accelerated investments in sustainable energy solutions, potentially reshaping the future of global energy consumption. A significant transition seems imminent as nations prioritize energy independence and sustainability. Severe flooding has struck Southeast Asia, primarily affecting millions in Vietnam and Thailand due to relentless torrential rain. This natural disaster has submerged homes and critical infrastructure, leading to significant disruptions in transportation networks, which are vital for commerce and daily life. Agricultural losses are mounting, threatening food security in a region already grappling with economic challenges. Local authorities are tirelessly coordinating relief efforts, distributing essential supplies, and providing temporary shelters for displaced families. Nevertheless, ongoing rainfall and rising water levels hinder these initiatives, complicating rescue operations. Humanitarian organizations are mobilizing resources to assist in recovery, focusing on both immediate relief and long-term strategies for rebuilding. This catastrophe underscores the region's vulnerability to climate-related events, sparking urgent discussions about the resilience of existing infrastructure. Experts warn that without substantial investments in climate adaptation measures and disaster preparedness, the frequency and severity of such events are likely to increase. Moving forward, it is crucial for governments and communities to prioritize innovative solutions that enhance resilience against future flooding events. The trade relationship between the United States and China has reached a new boiling point, with both nations imposing fresh tariffs on key goods. This escalation marks a significant deterioration in ties, reflecting ongoing disputes over issues like intellectual property theft and trade imbalances. The U.S. has targeted Chinese electronics, a crucial sector for tech innovation, while China has retaliated by increasing tariffs on American agricultural products, affecting farmers who rely heavily on exports. Business leaders express growing concern over the uncertainty affecting supply chains and consumer prices, with many fearing that rising costs could lead to reduced consumer spending. Economists suggest that these escalating tensions could lead to a recession in both economies if not resolved quickly, as the interconnected nature of global trade means that disruptions will reverberate worldwide. The international business community is calling for renewed negotiations to prevent further economic fallout, emphasizing the need for compromise. With both sides standing firm in their positions, the likelihood of a diplomatic resolution seems increasingly bleak, necessitating innovative strategies to de-escalate tensions and restore trade stability in the near future. Southern Europe is grappling with an unprecedented heat wave, with temperatures soaring above 45 degrees Celsius in several regions. Countries like Italy and Spain are facing extreme weather conditions, leading to devastating wildfires and health warnings from authorities. This alarming heat wave is not merely a seasonal anomaly. It is exacerbated by climate change, which scientists warn is intensifying heat events globally. Local governments are responding with emergency measures, including the establishment of public cooling centers and targeted water distribution initiatives to aid vulnerable populations, particularly the elderly and those with pre-existing health conditions. The agricultural sector is also feeling the strain, with crop yields predicted to decline significantly due to the extreme heat, raising concerns about food security in the region. The economic fallout could be severe, affecting not only farmers, but also local economies reliant on agriculture. As the heat persists, scientists and climate advocates are urging immediate policy changes to enhance climate resilience and mitigate future risks. This situation may serve as a wake-up call for European leaders, prompting more aggressive climate action initiatives. If effective measures are implemented swiftly, there is hope for a more sustainable future in the face of climate challenges. In the latest development in the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, heavy clashes have erupted in the Donbass region. Ukrainian forces report significant artillery exchanges, leading to casualties on both sides. This surge in violence comes after a fragile ceasefire had allowed for peace talks to progress. The situation escalated following accusations from both parties of ceasefire violations. In recent weeks, both Ukraine and Russia had made attempts to engage in diplomatic dialogue, but ongoing mistrust has undermined these efforts. Standard military operations have resumed, with each side reinforcing their positions along the front lines. The international community is closely monitoring the situation, with NATO expressing concern over potential Russian aggression. The organization has reiterated its commitment to Ukraine's sovereignty, highlighting the strategic importance of Eastern Europe. Analysts warn that continued hostilities could destabilize the entire region, leading to a humanitarian crisis that could displace thousands. The United Nations has called for an emergency meeting to address the situation, emphasizing the need for renewed diplomatic efforts. The implications for regional security and energy supplies loom large, as Europe relies heavily on Russian energy exports. As tensions rise, the stakes are higher than ever, prompting calls for immediate dialogue. Moving forward, global leaders must prioritize negotiations to prevent further escalation and seek a sustainable resolution to this enduring conflict. Thank you for watching our countdown of today's top news stories. Which story shocked you the most? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.